Leon finds himself reincarnated into a fantasy world, surrounded by a serene ambience of candles and a tranquil ceiling. Comparing this environment to Earth, Leon assumes that the fantasy world lags behind in civilization. However, he is grateful for being reborn into a decent place, considering his previous life as an orphan who succumbed to overwork. As we observe Leon resting on his mother's lap, we understand why he initially believed he was born into a wealthy household, the sheer beauty of his birth mother. Her gentle grip on his hand radiates happiness. 3 years swiftly pass, and Leon, now a child, gazes out of the window, marveling at the vastness of the world beyond his cradle. The concerned maid lifts him away from the window, mindful of his safety. We discover that Leon's family holds a prominent position within the kingdom as part of the renowned Grand Duchy. Apologetically, he acknowledges his nanny's worries. Leon is the son of the Grand Duke Dragonia, a noble figure known as a duke in the Kingdom of Lionhart. At the tender age of 8, Leon embarks on his journey to become a knight, eagerly grasping a sword for the very first time. He wonders if he will possess the ability to wield sword chi and sword aura. His mentor, Sir Gothic, a holy knight dispatched from the palace, views teaching Leon as a worthwhile endeavor, as he sees potential in him to become the embodiment of the goddess's will. Polite and respectful, Leon greets Sir Gothic, requesting his guidance and care. At the age of 14, we witness Leon undergoing rigorous training, including the arduous task of pulling a boulder. Leon, struggling with the intensity, cheekily curses Gothic macho, perceiving the holy knight as a monstrous entity cloaked in human form. He realizes the immense difficulty of qualifying as a holy knight. Gothic urges Leon to complete another lap, pushing him to his limits. Eventually, they engage in a duel where Leon discovers that to become a holy knight, he must undertake quests, train diligently, demonstrate honor, and be chosen by the Holy Grail to drink its sacred water. Despite being punched and forced backward during the fight, Leon is instructed to maintain unwavering focus on his opponent until the end. As the son of Dragonia, he must strive to acquire comprehensive knowledge about being a Grand Duke, in addition to his knightly pursuits. Exhausted, he lies on the ground, breathless, and questions the existence of any divine entity, as he remains skeptical of religion. In a forest, we find our protagonist, Leon, searching for something, driven by his relentless pursuit of recognition from the goddess and his aspiration to become a holy knight. For 16 years, he has traversed the world, seeking acknowledgement. Leon notices a distant fire, which turns out to be a village under attack by orcs. The village is ablaze, overrun by the marauding horde. Leon reflects on the absurdity of accumulating fame and performing good deeds solely to gain the goddess's attention, an idea he finds preposterous. Knights in the village valiantly defend against the orcs, but their numbers prove overwhelming, and they fear their impending demise. In their desperation, they beseech the goddess for protection. Leon, worried by the countless missed opportunities to wield his sword, stands boldly before the invading orcs, threatening them for trespassing into the kingdom's territory. The orcs are taken aback, and in that moment, Leon mercilessly cleaves an orc in half. He acknowledges the kingdom's multitude of enemies. 20 years later, Leon finally meets the goddess, expressing his awe and genuine recognition of her divine nature. The goddess presents Leon with a quest to demonstrate his honor and faith, which he willingly accepts. He dedicates years of tireless effort, eventually ascending to the esteemed rank of a holy knight. Subsequently, we witness Leon's triumphant victories over orcs, his relentless crusade against goblins, and his valiant eradication of an evil cult. These accomplishments lead him to become a war knight of the kingdom, entrusted with the authority to assemble a formidable force of fellow knights. Leon had fought valiantly, leading his knights to massacre 700,000 orcs, even including women and children. After the triumph, he celebrated, feeling refreshed by the victory. However, as 35 years passed, chaos enveloped the land. The archdemon summoned by the Empire resulted in the passing of the living saint and demigod, Argent Majesty Lionhart. Demons wreaked havoc, driving mankind to seek solace in gods and faith. Leon's frustration grew, cursing the magicians of the Empire, and he contemplated the need for a new holy knight to succeed King Lionhart. Amidst the turmoil, the goddess descended and chose Leon for this prestigious position. Despite the honor and exhaustion that came with being a holy knight, he vowed to protect the kingdom's citizens and his loyal knights. Leon transplanted the sacred treasure, the Lionheart, from the goddess and ascended to the throne, becoming the Grand Duke Dragonia and the King of Lionhart Kingdom. Over the course of 80 years, many events unfolded. 3 great wars with orcs ensued, and a hunchback goblin evolved into an archdemon. Additionally, the Empire's dark magicians, pursuing experimentation, further complicated matters. Leon became aware that the Empire's acceptance of the Northern cult led to their downfall, and he resolved to conquer them all. In the 96th year, a sorrowful event occurred. The Emperor, who once claimed he did not want to die, committed suicide, and had sacrificed the 3 million citizens from the capital, which summoned the sinister Lord of Chaos inside the capital, causing more turmoil. Leon mustered his knights and marched towards the Empire, wielding the holy sword with residual grease from battles fought the previous year. By the 121st year, Leon found himself holding a doll, feeling helpless as the world was on the brink of destruction, despite his efforts to defeat evil. A man named Orphan approached him, acknowledging Leon's honor and his father's honorable death. During the final battle, Leon rallied his troops, urging them to remain enraged at the villains who stole their loved ones and deceived with false victory. Charging into the enemy forces, he sought guidance from the goddess. She assured him of her presence until the end, and with the flag of the kingdom flying high, Leon charged alongside his troops. In the ensuing battle, they fought against billions of devils, using barbarian slaves as shields and civilian knights as brave defenders. Leon, chosen as the agent of all gods and holy temples, faced the demonic forces alone, tearing apart countless demon lords and archdemons, showcasing the true power of a holy knight. As 217 long years dragged on, winter persisted, unyielding. Finally, after 256 years, Leon achieved the remarkable feat of destroying the last remaining demon gate. There was no escape for the demons now, they were trapped with him. Leon declared his intent to exterminate every last one of them. The demons trembled in absolute fear as Leon charged forward, ready to deliver their demise. 3 centuries later, Leon effortlessly dispatched an archdemon with a single slash. Onlookers, astonished by his immense power, exchanged bewildered glances and wondered what had just transpired. The lifeless body of the archdemon lay motionless on the ground. Addressing the shocked onlookers, Leon commanded them to rise, emphasizing that it was not the time to falter but to rise and fight. Curiosity sparked among the group, and a girl inquired about Leon's identity. Radiating a resplendent golden light, Leon proudly revealed himself as the King Lionhart, the Knight of the Glorious Order. He declared himself the agent entrusted with carrying out the will of the holy temples. His name, he proclaimed, was Leon Dragonia Lionhart. It had been precisely 300 years since Leon's encounter with the people of Earth. A message flashed, declaring that all the monsters had been defeated. We are transported to a mysterious gate appeared in the heart of Seoul. The gate's rank was an unidentifiable black, leaving the Korean Hunter Association and the World Hunter Association in a quandary. They requested the aid of the nation's largest guilds for a raid, but their pleas were dismissed due to the unknown difficulty of the gate. In the end, the government ordered the Korean Hunter Association to venture into the gate first, which was basically an execution order. It was during this fateful mission that the group encountered a man named Leon, as Hari reminisces about their experiences inside the gate. Hari is brought back to the present by Kim Jin-soo, the head manager of the Korean Hunter Association, and Han Hari, the associate manager. Jin-soo inquires about Han's well-being, and she laments that no one believed her account of what happened inside the Black Rank Demon Gate. Jin-soo understands the skepticism, as surviving such a dangerous mission without the assistance of other guilds was nothing short of a miracle. Not only did they survive, but they also successfully cleared the gate, all thanks to one man, Leon. We learn about the survivors from another world, individuals who managed to endure in the realm of the gate. This realm depicts a world teetering on the brink of destruction, and some fortunate survivors find their way back to Earth, their incredible strength intact from their time spent in the demon realm. Understanding the significance of these survivors, the government goes to great lengths to support and accommodate their needs, implementing plans to recruit and employ them. In the midst of this discussion, Han asserts that they must scout Leon without hesitation. Jin-soo raises concerns, noting that even an A-rank hunter risks their life when battling a high-ranking demon. However, Leon astonishingly eradicated a formidable demon with just one strike, a monster that even S-rank hunters fear. Han emphasizes that Leon not only killed the demon but completely overwhelmed it, showcasing an unparalleled level of power. Jin-soo, however, remains apprehensive about potential cultural differences that may arise. Han reassures Jin-soo, stating that she sensed a genuinely kind-hearted nature in Leon's voice. Yet, just as she is about to finish her sentence, Leon's fury erupts, shattering the sturdy glass with a single scream, a glass that had previously proved impervious even to monsters. Both Jinsu and Han are taken aback by the raw intensity of Leon's anger. Undeterred, Leon stands tall and confronts them, expressing his outrage at the thought of his revered Lionheart name being tarnished. Han acknowledges the possibility that their diverging perspectives may be attributed to cultural differences, attempting to bridge the understanding between them. Let's rewind 15 minutes to when Leon is being interrogated by an agent. As he sits there, Leon reflects on the peculiar sensation of this situation. It's no surprise, really, considering his humble origins as an orphan who toiled through his 20s until exhaustion claimed his life. Then, in a twist of fate, he was reborn into a different world, eventually ascending to become the king and knight of a grand kingdom. He ruled for over a century, conquering both the mortal realm and the treacherous domain of demons. Counting his years spent hunting demons, he has existed for a total of 300 years, a span that brings him a sense of relief, knowing that he retains some memories of his former life on Earth. The agent extends a greeting, addressing him as Leon Dragonia. Leon ponders the implications of revealing his past as an Earthling, realizing that it may not be advantageous for him to disclose this fact at the moment. He believes that presenting himself as a Night King who lived 300 years in the other world is far more impressive than a man in his 20s who died from overwork. He asserts his authority, commanding the agent to refer to him as His Majesty and even calling the agent a peasant, which confuses the agent. However, the agent quickly adapts and addresses him as His Majesty from then on. The agent questions if Leon's world had contact with their hunters and if he was the one who defeated all those demons. Leon confirms it was indeed him but expresses surprise that the agent seems to have forgotten. The agent, bewildered, asks for clarification, and Leon proudly states that he vanquished all evil species, protecting the honor of the knights. He then orders the agent to become his temporary secretary, bestowing upon him the privilege of recording incidents. Nervously, the agent agrees. The agent brings Leon his meal, which shocks Leon upon seeing it. The meal is a bone broth simmered for hours, topped with salt, pepper, and crunchy kimchi. It is called xiaoliantang. Leon recalls that xiaoliantang was his soul food when he was a laborer on Earth. He believes that people tend to enjoy familiar food more than new dishes. He asks the agent about the dish, and the agent explains that it is called xiaoliantang, known as the soul food of peasants. Leon's anger flares, and he smashes the food and the table, berating them for sullying the name of the glorious Lionheart. Leon, the embodiment of the 300-year war's history and a returner who once lived as an Earthling, realizes that Earth has become a mess during his absence. He believes it is a result of the lack of religious faith and sees it as his duty, as a member of the royal family, to enlighten the ignorant. Despite returning to Earth, Leon remains a Night King. We find Leon seated, enjoying a steak, while Jinsu ponders how he recognizes the chicken and black bean noodles they offered. Jinsu instructs Han Hari to approach Leon first for a conversation. Hari is surprised by this, mentioning that she cannot use historical language. Jinsu points out that Leon seems to be interested in Hari, as he complimented her bravery, implying that he might not dismiss her outright. Though Hari insists that Leon only called her brave, she agrees to enter the room. As Leon finishes his meal, Hari enters and apologizes for interrupting him. Leon recognizes Hari as the swordsman from before and invites her to sit. Hari discreetly gives a thumbs up to the camera before taking a seat. She asks if the food met his expectations. Leon responds that it wasn't bad and acknowledges the sincerity and finesse of the chef. He explains that his previous challenging behavior stemmed from their disrespectful attitude towards a king. According to Leon, when greeting royalty from a foreign nation, they should be treated accordingly. He questions whether their behavior reflects the status of their nation. Hari apologizes for her lack of knowledge and the disrespect she showed. Leon assures her that it's no longer an issue and inquiries about her name. She introduces herself as Han Hari. Leon mentions that he has heard about their world and the appearance of demons on Earth. He asks if his understanding is correct. Hari confirms his understanding and explains that her mission in entering the room was to persuade Leon to join the Hunter Association. She emphasizes the need to secure his affiliation with their country. She then asks for his permission to have the South Korean government take care of him from now on. At this point, we learn that the motive behind the 21st century intelligence war is to scout survivors and prevent them from joining other countries. No matter how much support is promised, they aim to stop individuals from joining other nations. Leon states that as long as he is settled in this world, he has a duty to participate in the battlefield. He believes that if he is an honorable knight, it is only right for him to fight. Hari questions if that means he wants to be affiliated with their hunter association. However, Leon explains that a king cannot serve as a soldier for another nation's military. Instead, he intends to create a new knight's order in this world. Hari is shocked and confused by Leon's words but can only nod in response. She asks Jinsu about the higher-up's stance on this matter. Jinsu states that they can offer as much support as possible and expresses relief that Leon hasn't joined another country or a large guild yet. Hari, although saddened by this, mentions that it's all because of the large guilds that flaunt their money and power. Jinsu is about to mention the Phoenix Guild when suddenly, the lights turn red, and alarms start blaring. An urgent message arrives, informing them about a dungeon break at the Honan Plains. Jinsu contemplates that if a dungeon break occurs in the location of a granary, the demonic elements will disrupt food production. Hari asks if it's the same guild that has the S-rank hunter Li Youngwon. She believes that he could handle an orange-colored gate. Jinsu explains that they know the guild has a different agenda and that they must hurry to stop the dungeon break. Meanwhile, Leon listens to their conversation from outside and realizes that they are in trouble. He understands that if a dungeon break happens, the land becomes infected, and crops fail to grow. Leon emits a light from his hand to confirm that this earth lacks something. He reaches out to a goddess named Demira, asking if she is well. We are then shown a figure of a woman. We are taken to a crop field where a gate has appeared. Jinsu and Hari arrive at the scene and question hunter Li Youngwon about the situation. He asks if they are from the association. Jinsu realizes that Li Youngwon intentionally allowed the dungeon break to happen because their request was rejected. We learn that the Phoenix Guild has been seeking a tax exemption for the profits gained from gates, magic crystals, and monster materials. They want to be exempted from paying a 1 trillion tax. Jinsu thinks that as a large guild, they already enjoy enough benefits, but they let the dungeon break occur due to the association's refusal. This infuriates Jinsu. Hari angrily tells Li Youngwon that they need to close the gate immediately as they only have 1 week. However, Li Youngwon smugly responds that his guild members are gravely injured and it would be difficult for them to raid in that state. He suggests they attempt it the next day but admits uncertainty about the outcome. Hari gets angrier and asks if Li Youngwon has any sense of patriotism. She tells him that he already knows the consequences if the Honan Plains get infected, but he dismissively claims ignorance. Hari questions his childish behavior. Li Youngwon reminds her that this is the last year's draft and that justice in the world is just about money and power. Leon suddenly appears and reprimands Li Youngwon for being shallow and old-fashioned. Hari is shocked to see Leon in such a place and calls him by his name. However, Leon instructs her not to address him so casually and only allows her to refer to him by his title. Li Youngwon demands to know who Leon is and comments on his Western appearance. Leon silences him, expressing anger that a lowly individual like Li Youngwon would dare to speak to him. Li Youngwon becomes incensed, thinking to himself about being the 20th S-rank hunter in the world and the guild master of a top 10 guild. He questions how Leon could call him lowly. Li Youngwon prepares an attack, asking Leon if he wants to die, but Hari intervenes and informs him that Leon is a survivor. With his attack withdrawn, Li Youngwon apologizes for his rudeness and introduces himself as Li Youngwon from the Phoenix Guild. He tries to ascertain if Leon came from the Gray-Colored Guild, but Leon tells him that a king does not repeat himself. Leon dismisses Li Youngwon and directs his attention to Hari and Jinsu, asking them to provide a concise explanation of the problem. Jinsu and Hari become excited that Leon is willing to help them. Hari provides an explanation. When a dungeon break occurs, a large amount of demonic energy is released, infecting the land. The infected area becomes unable to grow crops. The Honan Plains, being an essential granary, make this situation critical. She emphasizes that the current spread of demonic energy has already started affecting the ground. Leon asks for a solution, and Hari explains that they must purify the infection, clear the dungeon, and completely close the gate as soon as possible. Leon comprehends that the issue lies with the infected land and the growing gate. He instructs Hari to summon their forces because, after the raid's time limit expires, he will personally intervene. Hari questions if he genuinely intends to do so, to which Leon asserts that before the raid, a king from a foreign country cannot engage in military activities within another's territory as they please. He insists on obtaining permission from the king of this nation. Hari is shocked by this and tells him it's unnecessary. However, Leon reminds her that there are legitimate processes and rules for everything. He asks her how she can call herself an honorable knight if she does not abide by the laws of her nation.
He instructs her to convey the message to her king.
Li Yongwan, witnessing this, realizes that Leon may be even more formidable than himself. Meanwhile, we see someone talking to the president while on a plane.
A confused Hari tells Leon that she has made the preparations he requested and asks what he plans to do with the straw dolls.
Leon explains that their precious land is infected, and the dolls are needed for the land's purification process.
Leon had specific requirements for the dolls. They had to be made by women who had given birth.
He asks to see the dolls made by the women and meticulously examines each one.
However, none of the dolls meet his standards. Finally, an 89-year-old married woman catches Leon's attention. He finds her doll incredible, noting that it surpasses all the others. He asks her how many children she has given birth to, and she proudly responds that she has had 12 kids. Leon praises her as the origin of life, a living patriot. Under normal circumstances, Leon would personally reward her with medals and gifts, but due to the situation, he asks for forgiveness. He places the doll on a table with a candle in the middle of the crop field. Leon explains that the conditions have been met and reveals the Holy Grail. He begins conversing with the goddess, referring to her as the mother of the abundant land and expressing how the people of this earth offer the harvest doll to her. He asks her to receive it from within the Holy Grail. A golden light emanates, and water mysteriously appears, filling the cup.
Everyone is astonished as Leon chants a spell. The water from the cup flows towards the doll and enters it.
The doll stands up on its own, leaving everyone shocked.
Leon greets the doll as Demera, the Mother Earth, the goddess of life and abundance.
The doll responds, acknowledging that it has been a while. Leon and Demera engage in a conversation, where Demera acknowledges that the land of this new world is being invaded by evil and has become contaminated.
Leon informs her about the evil species that inhabit the land and mentions the absence of divinity. He expresses his concern that the lowly and vulgar individuals present, such as Li Yongwan, might tarnish her divine presence. This statement shocks Li Yongwan, but Demera interjects, stating that ignorance and greed cannot always be judged as sins since they are inherent characteristics of mortals. She asks Leon about his plans moving forward. Leon responds that blending in among the swordsmen is not difficult, but he believes that the authority of a conqueror is divine. He vows to ensure that duty and authority can coexist in this world, leading the ignorant toward the right path until a new pantheon emerges. Demera asks if there is a favor she can grant him, asserting her readiness to help. Leon requests that she free the citizens of this earth who are suffering due to the evil energy. A beautiful lady with white wings appears before Leon, and he recognizes her as the embodiment of Demera. Leon acknowledges that purifying and healing the land may not be something she desires, but he pleads for her assistance. Demera acknowledges Leon as the head of her temple and their champion. She explains that the world's earth is not her physical body and extends her hand, from which a drop of water falls. She promises to spread her divinity and substitute the thirsty earth with her essence. As the drop touches the ground, Demera declares that everything walking on this earth will become Leon's ally. A massive beam of golden light emanates from the crop field, astonishing everyone witnessing this divine phenomenon. Leon tells them to observe and learn, as they are ignorant and unaware that they dwell in a world blessed with divinity. The crops glow with a golden light, being purified of all demonic energy. Leon emphasizes that giving birth and flourishing is the righteous duty of all living beings, and the fertile earth is a testament to an eternal promise. However, Li Yongwan interrupts, warning everyone not to be fooled. He claims that crops grown using magic are poisonous and insists that Leon must be aware of this fact. Angered by Li Yongwan's comment, Leon rebukes him, asserting that the crops are blessed with divinity and should not be judged as poison. Li Yongwan, terrified by Leon's threat, realizes that his plan might be jeopardized because of him. Determined not to let this happen, Li Yongwan hatches a plan to expose Leon as a fraud. Li Yongwan proposes inspecting the crops to prove his point and asks Leon to cooperate for the sake of the people who will consume the harvest. He plans to frame Leon as a swindler. Li Yongwan brings an appraiser to evaluate the crops, expecting them to be exposed as fraudulent. However, to everyone's surprise, the appraisal shows that the crops are indeed blessed rice, a rare rank of rice capable of curing Tier 3 diseases with repeated consumption. The revelation shocks everyone, and Hari questions the authenticity of the appraisal, only to receive confirmation that the rice is genuinely blessed. Jinsu suggests bringing a pot from the chef's house to cook the rice and observe its effects. As the rice is cooked,
Its previously revealed effects are proven true, increasing stamina recovery by 100 and mana recovery for 50 minutes. Jinsu marvels at how simple rice can possess such reinforcing properties, equivalent to a product worth 3 million won per bottle. Amidst the commotion, Hari rushes toward Jinsu, exclaiming that she has significant news to share. Jinsu advises her to finish chewing before speaking, and she reveals that she became curious and consumed a bug. Surprised, Jinsu initially misunderstands, but Hari explains that she gained a buff after ingesting the bug. The news further astounds everyone present. Jinsu contemplates that if blessings are spread throughout the land, it is not unusual for all living beings to be blessed as well. People begin running around, capturing bugs to utilize in their upcoming raid. Damara calls Leon, informing him that she has accomplished her purpose here and needs to depart. Leon kneels before her, expressing his everlasting gratitude for the divine love she has bestowed upon them. Damara offers one final lecture to Leon, reminding him to nourish himself. Hari is on the verge of asking about divine power, but before she can finish her sentence, Leon interrupts and asks if there is no God in this world. Hari admits uncertainty, and Leon asserts that a proper life and world are shaped by divine power. He advises the people of Earth to bear this in mind. Leon declares that now that the soldiers are satiated, they will enter the gate. Meanwhile, Youngwon's guild member raises concerns about their plan, fearing potential problems. Youngwon curses Leon and questions his origins, believing that if it weren't for him, the government would have had no choice but to comply with their demands. He fervently wishes for Leon's demise inside the gate. Youngwon's mind sparks with an idea, and his companion tries to inquire about it. However, he dismisses any concerns and assures his companion that the gate has already been partially raided. Though his companion mentions that the middle part was quite challenging, Youngwon dismisses it, confident in his plan. He believes that Leon is merely a blessing-type buffer and lacks the ability to fight on his own. With a devilish look on his face, Youngwon confidently believes that Leon and the others are destined to fail within the gate. He mentions a formidable monster lurking inside the dungeon, one that cannot be defeated by conventional means. It is this very monster that will ultimately lead to the failure of the raid.
What lies ahead for them as they venture into this mystical world? What do you think will happen next? Don't forget to hit the like button, comment if you want to continue this series, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.